Hello. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Levette Lavoy, and I will be talking about virtual organizations teams for my organizational behavior class at Goodwin University. Organizational culture is an important concept in studying how organizations behave. Culture is defined as a common perception held by members of the organization or a sense of shared meaning. There are seven primary characteristics define organizational culture: innovation and risk taking, the degree to which employees are encouraged to be innovative and take risk, attention to detail, the degree to which employees are expected to exhibit precision analysis and attention to detail, outcome orientation, the degree to which management focuses on results or outcomes rather than on techniques and processes, people orientation, the degree to which management decisions take in consideration the effect of outcomes on people within the organizations. Team orientation is a degree to which work activities are organized around teams rather than individuals. Aggressiveness, the degree to which people are aggressive and competitive rather than easygoing. And stability, the degree to which organizational activities emphasize maintaining the status quo in contrast to growth. Culture is the social glue that helps hold an organization together by providing appropriate standards for what employees should say or do. There are five culture basic functions. It has a boundary defining role. It conveys a sense of identity for organizational members. It facilitates the generation of commitment to something larger than one's individual self interest. It enhances social system stability. It serves as a sense making and control mechanism that guides and shapes the attitudes and behaviors of employees. Organizational design or structure is defined by how tasks are formally divided, grouped, and coordinated. Organizational structure depicts how jobs are formally divided, grouped, and coordinated. Common organizational designs. There are a number of organization structures available to companies. The first and most basic structure is the simple structure. This structure has a low degree of departmentalization, wide spans of control, and centralized decision making with little formalization on job design. The structure is difficult to utilize in formalization or anything other than small organizations. Another type of organizational design is bureaucracy. In a bureaucratic organization, there will be a great deal of structure. The tasks will be completed through specialization, and they tend to be formalized through rules and regulations. Departments will be highly defined by function and authorities, is specific centralized. Decision making will follow a strict change of command, and there will be narrow spans of control. The bureaucratic organization will be the one that is highly defined and very controlled. And the third one is the matrix structure, which is another common organizational design. This structure creates dual lines of authority and combines functional and product department in a way to effectively meet organizational goals. The key element of matrix structure is that it gains the interaction between the functional and product departments by coordinating complex and interdependent activities in order to help reach the goals and set forth in efficient manner, opening up avenues for new ideas to achieve the company's mission. The matrix structure also breaks down the unity of command concepts, and the lines of authority are very blurred. So, new design options of organizations are the team structure, which is use the team as a central device to coordinate work activities. The virtual organization, which is a small core organization that outsources major business functions. remotely. The boundaryless organization, which is an organization that seeks to eliminate the chain of command, have limited spans of control, and replace departments with empowered teams. It is very difficult to generalize what will work best for all employees. For example, work specialization might lead to higher productivity but can reduce job satisfaction. Individual differences, experiences, and the work tasks are key. Motivation in virtual teams. Motivating a virtual team can be difficult, even for experienced managers. Our global economy has shifted from the mechanical or labor based economy of the past to an economy of focus on creative and high level knowledge based work. Rather than working as a part of a production group in a factory, many of the most valuable employees in our economy do creative or analytical work as part of a virtual team. There are ways to motivate our virtual teams. One is maximize potential with coaching and feedback. Turn conference calls into video collaborations and leverage technologies to enhance communication. Despite what many think, expectations and goals should be touched upon during recruitment. This gives potential employees an idea of what's required of them and if they are capable of carrying out the responsibilities of the role. To avert this, leaders should have routine one-on-one coaching sessions scheduled for individuals. Ideally, this should occur on a weekly basis. Coaching is crucial in developing employees to the fullest potential and helping a team succeed. Video conferencing help remote workers to feel more connected by humanizing communication. Participants can see the body language, facial expressions, and engage other members. It is the leader's role to lead meetings, but the remote teams should be running the meetings themselves. This gives everyone a sense of responsibility. The goal is to make everyone feel comfortable sharing challenges, successes, solutions, and ideas. Remote workers crave consistent communications with frequent check-ins and reminders that their leader is there to support them. Communication is more fragile when technology serves as a middleman. The right can enhance communication and strengthen relationships, while the wrong ones can create a great disconnect. Instead of relying on emails, leaders can utilize tools such as Microsoft Teams, Google Hangouts, Slack, Trello to keep communicating fluid. Groups are defined as two or more individuals who come together to achieve a set goal. There are two main groups that are existent. The first is a formal group, where the organization establishes the group with defined work tasks and outcomes. And the second group is an informal group that is not part of the organization structure. They are often established in reaction to a need for social interaction and form naturally. Informal groups can have significant influence on behavior and performance. The hard-earned studies were conducted in 1920s and 1930s. This research has been widely used in the understanding of group interactions. The studies found that worker behavior was highly influenced by groups' norms and that individual productivity was influenced by the standards the group set forth. Also, money was not as important in determining worker output as group standards and sentiments were. So, this communication in the virtual world, virtual organizations, virtual teams, will communicate. The sender takes the message to be sent and encoded either through verbal or written methods. The message is passed through the determined channel, and then it is handed off to the receiver, who receives the message and decode it. The process is hindered by noise or communication barriers, such as the perceived message. Feedback is the check on how successful the sender was in passing the correct message to the receiver. There are several communication barriers. For example, filtering, selective perception, information overload, emotions, language, silence, communication apprehension in line. Communication that flows from one level of a group or organization to a lower level is downward communication. Managers using this one way communicate of communication explain why decisions are made, but don't solicit advice or opinions from employees. This can be problematic because while employees are more committed to decisions when they understand why they're made, the organization ignores potentially valuable information from employees and feedback. Disconnected, uninformed employees can have a detrimental effect on your business and bottom line. Implementing effective communication skills, tools, and strategies in the office is vital for companies to optimize performance and stay competitive. The challenges associated with virtual teams as a whole, and how do organizations mitigate the challenges in terms of communications, are security, number one. Information transmission lacks of security, which is a challenge to email technology as a whole. You can use a password and firewalls to mitigate this challenge. Cloud computing. This is a challenge where the privacy of the information is exposed. To enhance communication and mitigate this challenge, file systems are encrypted and software to prevent data loss are installed. And last but not least, risk management. Failure to audit technology often results in challenges which are not recognized and diagnosed early enough. It also leads to loss of motivation opportunities. This can be mitigated by ensuring that qualified technology experts and auditors are employed, and audits is done frequently. Business today has evolved enormously. It's global exponentiality growing and it's evolving ever so rapidly. Virtual teams, agile talent, and remote offices aren't just rising trends, especially with this health crisis, and pandemics. There are realities and globally spread out. Not to mention our business partners, suppliers, and customers who also are worldwide. Time zones and office hours matter less today. We are always communicating, making decisions, seeking information, and learning. Thanks to advancements in mobile technology, all this is the new norm. Well, power in organizations or virtual teams. Power refers to the capacity of one person has over the other person to get an individual to do something. There are two main bases of power, formal and personal. Formal is defined more by a position a person will hold in the organization. Um, People with formal power can utilize different powers based, to accomplish their tasks. The second major form of power is personal power, which comes through the individual's personality and characteristics. Personal power can be based on expert power or the individual's special skills and knowledge. Power is used as a way to accomplish the goal, and often followers are also means to accomplish the goals. Politics in organizations. Organizational politics focuses on the use of power to affect decision making in an organization or on self serving and organizationally unsanctioned behaviors. Politics often occurs when resources are low. The exceeds demands for the resources lead to competition and political behaviors. When the scarce resources are distributed, there will be varying views regarding how fairly or effectively the distribution was done. Perceptions can be distorted, such as the manager feels he is documenting decisions, and the employee just feels that the manager is covering their rear. So, political behavior consists of activities that are not required as part of an individual's formal role, but that influence or attempt to influence the distribution of advantages and disadvantages within the organization. Stretch management when working remotely. Job stretch stress can be defined as the harmful physical and emotional responses that occur when requirements of the job do not match the capabilities, resources, or needs of the worker. It is also defined as a dynamic condition in which an individual is confronted with an opportunity, demand, or resource related to what she or he does or desires, and for which the outcome is perceived to be both uncertain and important. It is common knowledge that stress is a major health concern worldwide. Stress can be displays in two main forms, acute and chronic. We all experience stress at some point in our lives. Unfortunately, the most common forms as acute stress in the job place. However, a growing body of research is identifying causes of stress unique to remote workers. This includes social isolation, blurring of boundaries between work and home, low awareness of location conditions, over and under communication, language challenges and misunderstanding, lack of support, scheduling difficulties, lack of career progression, more home related stress, and less influence over the people and events in the workplace. A coping mechanism for addressing spatial distance is for companies to have face-to-face meetings. A meetup help the team to feel more connected both and during after the event. It is an opportunity for the team to get to know one another beyond the remote access. It can be used to work as a project together, to tackle difficult problems, or just for socializing and team cohesion. While there are measures that can be taken as a team level to help alleviate the negative effects of stress when working remotely, there are things that you can do as an individual to alleviate the stress. It is important that you feel empowered by your team to make decisions that help you to maintain better occupational health. The steps that you can take to manage virtual stress is a step that is not always possible to complete all your work. Learn prioritize. Priorities. Define the most important priorities for your role. Create routines that help to differentiate between work time and non work time and identify what is essential and what is not. Clearly define how you will spend your time. Create boundaries. Work at a co working space or office. Schedule non working time every week. Find somewhere to work with no distractions. Take breaks, regular breaks. Take holidays where you completely recharge. Combat isolation by making time for human interaction and stay focused by turning off all communication services when you are at work time. Multitasking when you're working remotely does not work. Thanks for watching.